Patrolling the Mojave Wasteland almost makes me wish for a nuclear winter. That's right, guys. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Big Chetty, and I am so happy to be here today to be reviewing and talking about Fallout Season 2, Episode 1. The hit Amazon TV series based on one of the best video game series of all time, Fallout, is back for a second season, and I think Episode 1 went very well last night. Firstly, I just want to talk about I'm going to be making a video or a review on each of the episodes that come out. A lot of my favorite YouTubers do that, and I think it's a good idea for content. Other people seem to have enjoyed the other videos I've made about reviewing movies and other TV shows, so I thought, hey, you know what? Fallout Season 2 is out. It's very popular. Why not do it? Probably great for the channel. Plus, I love talking about it, and now I get to talk to you guys about it too, which I think is so cool. And basically, they're doing a release schedule weekly. It's going to be one episode a week, I think, up until, I think, early February, I believe is what's happening. There may be a little break in between. I'm not exactly sure. I didn't exactly see all the dates, but I know that there is something weird going on there. I think next episode is actually on Christmas Eve, so I have to go to a Christmas Eve dinner and then like rush back to watch that and then make a video. I guess and upload a video for you guys on Christmas Day. I guess so. Yeah, I don't know. That's weird. I had something else planned for Christmas Day, but I guess we'll do that instead. Anyway, point being, they're releasing shows weekly. I'm going to be covering them. So if you haven't liked or subscribed to this channel, please do. It helps out so much. I want to hit 1K before New Year's Eve. Oh, and of course, I'm going to do my best to avoid spoilers. I'm not going to come out here and just tell you exactly what happens in the episode. I'm going to do my best to hit some of the notes, some of the interesting plot points without giving too much away, because I do think everyone should watch this. It is really solid. But as we go on throughout the season, I may have to cover spoilers. I may have to talk about something. I think it will come to a point where I cannot avoid it. So if that happens, I will say, hey, spoiler, I'll leave warnings out. You'll know. There'll be sirens going off, a fire off a rocket. You'll know that there's a spoiler. Oh my God, wait, I haven't seen it, Chetty, wait. So you'll know. But for this episode, I'm happy to say that it's going to be pretty spoiler-free because there's not really much to spoil, if that makes sense. Episode 1 here is really just a little bit of a recap for folks that watch Season 1 and are familiar with Lucy and the Ghoul's journey, where they're at right now. Literally, like geographically, they're walking to New Vegas from LA or the Californian wasteland. And it's very slowly just picking up where we left off. So if you've seen the first season, this is just a nice little dip your toes in the water and introduce you back into the series and get you comfortable with what's going on. So there wasn't any massive plot breaking, plot twists, plot developments. There was nothing too major, just a lot of things that are setting things up. A tennis racket episode. It's a big setup. And there's a lot to unpack here, though. So like I mentioned, Lucy and the Ghoul are chasing Lucy's dad because he left after Season 1 after that whole debacle at the observatory. And Lucy's dad is found he knows where it is. He's at some other Vault-Tec facility. He was putting on a suit, and there's this weird sort of experiment going on with him, where again, that's all we really know right now. There's not much to say besides he's up to no good. He's cooking something in the kitchen, and I don't know if I like it. Lucy and the Ghoul have been following in his footsteps. Lucy obviously wants to find her father, perhaps reconcile with him, take him to justice, as she mentioned at one point. And the Ghoul is looking for his family. For some reason, he doesn't know where his family is. He's still trying to find them, see if they're alive, dead. He doesn't know. And I think one of the coolest parts of the whole episode was Lucy and the Ghoul coming across Vault 24 at the Starlight Drive-In, which is just already that's just packed with references. But the main one you got to take away from this is that Vault 24 is not a vault from the video games. It was supposed to be in Fallout New Vegas, but it was cut from the game, most likely due to time constraints, because Fallout New Vegas had an 18-month production cycle, which, if you know anything about video games and how they're made, 18 months is like a week. Like, that's no time at all. And considering how good New Vegas is and how big that game is, really impressive. So the fact that 24 got cut is unfortunate, but here the writers, the people behind the show have done their research. They've repurposed Vault 24 into this like communist vault. And what an interesting idea that all these Americans, apparently wealthy Americans, came into this vault and they were brainwashed into becoming communists. Which, if you know Fallout lore, is like this is Cold War America. The Chinese communists, they are the enemy. They are the worst. And we are Americans. We are capitalists, and we are hot red blooded Americans, and we would never do that. So the fact that Vault-Tec would try and turn them into communists, again, I think is a very interesting concept. The Vault experiments ideas are just, I think, crazy, but very, very efficient. It's kind of like saying, it's kind of like admitting self defeat in a little bit. You know what I mean? Where it's like, no, capitalism is the answer. Capitalism is the answer. Then the world ends, and they're like, well, what if we try the communism a little bit? We just try it. But obviously, you couldn't sell that to an American pre-war because no American wants to be a communist. I don't want to be a communist, but it's just a really cool idea. The whole lice soup, the flea soup scene, that was pretty cool. That was funny. Classic Fallout comedy. It's horror, it's disgust, it's grotesque, but at the same time, it's also very black comedy, very funny in dark situations. I thought that was great. We also got an introduction to Mr. House, played by Justin Theroux, I believe the actor's name is. I'm not too familiar with his work, but he looks the part. He looks great. But interestingly enough, they recasted this guy. They recasted Mr. House. That's Justin Theroux now, but last season it was someone else. Yet, we see Mr. House in this bar scene talking to some workers while there's a TV program of him playing in the bar. That's the actor from the first season. And I think that was deliberate. I don't think it's like, wow, we got no footage. So they could have easily filmed more footage of this new house as opposed to season one's house. So what I'm thinking, I'm going to give you a theory here, is that that's a body double. What evidence do I have to go on that? Well, they look very similar, although they do look different. And Mr. House is actually I'd argue, very heavily based on a real life person called Howard Hughes. Now, you probably don't know who that is because you're not over the age of 75, but you can ask your grandpa. Ask grandpa and grandma who that is. They'll tell you. He was the richest man in the world at one point during when your grandpa was still, I was a young man, I remember. And it also, Tony Stark's dad is based on him as well. He is a very influential person in 20th century American, I guess I'd say pop culture, not really pop culture, but I guess modern history, I guess. We'll go with that. Point being, Howard Hughes in real life actually had body doubles towards the end of his life. He got a little crazy, a little fanatical, and that's kind of what Mr. House becomes in the game, too. So that's adding up. So why he would have a body double, I'm not too sure. The Fallout universe is a pretty tumultuous universe, even pre-war. There is a lot of riots, and there's economic issues, the resource war, that things are running out. People seem to really think the end of the world is coming, and it does. So it makes sense to me. His whole arc right now is that he's got some sort of weird brain radio controlled device. We saw Hank and his when Hank got to his area in the vault, he was playing with some of that too. Lucy came across some more of those little devices when her and the ghoul made it to Vault 24. So there's a lot of interesting ideas there. We don't know what these radio controlled devices do. They don't exactly relate to the games. I'm very familiar with most of the games. So there's none of that in the games yet. So perhaps maybe this is to make some obedient workers after the fact. I don't know. I need more information before I can create my theory on that one. But still, it's nice to see Mr. House. I love to see the pre-war Fallout universe. I think it's fantastic, mainly because the sets are just beautiful. The set design, the art design, the costumes, everything looks fantastic. They nail this retro futuristic 1950s America. It looks beautiful. And even the shot of Los Angeles, the opening shot of LA 2070 whatever, but I think it's supposed to be 2075. I think it's not because the bombs drop in 77. I think we're still away from that yet. But to add to that, we also got a ton of references to other stuff besides the Vault 24 thing, which is very cool. We also got we saw Novak. We saw Novak from New Vegas. We saw the dinky toy dinosaur. Lucy was up there. No Boone, which was interesting. Where's Boone? Where is he? I don't know. We got a reference to Darla though, and we got a big iron sequence. What more could you want, man? We got a big iron sequence with the ghoul killing people as a cowboy. Come on. That's why I'm here. And also, funny enough, we also got a West-Tec reference where there's a radio broadcast playing, and it's saying, West-Tec stocks are up because This new skincare routine is doing wonders for people. Brought to you by Vault-Tec. And if you don't know, Vault-Tec is the company that eventually would introduce the FEV virus into Fallout, which turns people into disgusting, awful, stupid mongoloid super mutants. So, little tongue in cheek reference of that. Very cool. It was just packed full of references from start to finish. There seemed to be like a reference to the Fallout 4 intro when you're in Sanctuary, with the Vault-Tec rep and his truck and that little town there they were passing through. Kind of interesting. We even got a reference to Bakersfield, which is such a deep cut. Most people aren't going to know that. Most modern Fallout fans won't even know that. That's a reference to Fallout 1 and Bakersfield, which eventually becomes Ghoul City. It's a vault that was designed for the door to fail, and the radiation comes in, everyone becomes a ghoul. Is that where Howard Cooper goes with the daughter? Is that why they're still alive, because they're all ghouls? Do you stay a ghoul? If you become a ghoul as a kid, do you stay a ghoul? Because we've seen that before in Fallout 4, that kid in the fridge. Do you stay a ghoul? Like what? So many questions. Such a fun universe to be a part of. I don't know. We'll see what happens there. Love the references. Overall, fantastic episode. But if I have to criticize something, and I think we always should, we show like, hey, what can we improve on? I always think it's important. I don't think this is a perfect episode because it was mostly set up. I think it was a fun season opener. But I do have a slight problem with the dialogue. What do I mean by that? Okay, well, Fallout Season 1 and this episode are really no different. It's really more of the same, which is fantastic. And that's because Fallout Season 1 was good because it told an effective story with an interesting plot that is both true to its source material and just like it expands the ideas of Fallout while also staying so true to its core audience. I'm looking at you, Halo Show. What the hell is even that? You know, like it's doing everything right. So, for example, Fallout, the games, they do have some corny, silly dialogue, and the show has some corny, silly dialogue. And here it works. It works fine. However, I think too much of that, there's only so many corny things you can say or do. It's a currency. There's only so much you can spend. And when Lucy's up in the dinosaur and the ghoul's hanging there, and she's like, well, maybe we can resolve this, naturally. Maybe we can, like, be friendly and, like, not, like, kill each other. And Ella Purnell is super cute. She looks great up there. It's a funny scene. The greatest scene of all time? No, but it's funny. It's cute. It works. I just don't know how many times we're going to be able to do that. If this show is going to be multi-seasonal, which at this point, it's going to be one of the biggest Amazon series of all time. Probably their greatest hit maybe for years. Unless like an Elder Scrolls show comes out, because I think that would be really good too. An Elder Scrolls show? Oh, buddy, come on, that'd be great. I just think that dialogue, it's kind of like Borderlands in a sense, where like when we were younger, we loved the Borderlands dialogue. It was a funny game. But now like that millennial writing of like, well, you got to go fight Mr. Poopy Pants and Stinky Butt. Well, I need you to fetch the, like, if you know, you know. And I think it's cute. It's not in Borderlands territory yet, but we're approaching. I just want to be caught. I want to put the guardrails up. Just stay in the lane. If we stay in the lane, I think we're good. If we swerve a little too much and play with that, no good. So while I think it works for now, I just think that perhaps the dialogue shouldn't be so, not just corny, but just so playful with her. She's still innocent, but she is losing her innocence. And I'm hoping that's what we see throughout the show's progression, that we see her arc, that we see her sort of like come to realization that, wow, I was completely sheltered. I think she's starting to pick up on that, but obviously, who does not want to return to that life underground? Her vault was a successful vault where people live for generations with clean water and this and that, etc. So she's changing a little bit. We need to see more, but I'm hoping as she grows as a person, I'm hoping her maturity changes, her dialogue changes a little bit to reflect sort of the horrors and just the awfulness of what is the wastelands of America, post-apocalyptic America. The ghoul's sort of like, yeah, you'll get there. Yeah, it's like, you first time, kid? Yeah, you'll get there, kid. Don't worry. Lastly, I wanted to leave you guys with what I think is one of the most interesting subplots, which I think is, there's a bunch of stuff going on. Really, we still have to learn what's going on with Maximus. I'm sure we'll see that in episode 2. But we're here with the brother. I can't remember what the brother's name is. The brother, the guy from Hannah Montana, the little guy, the big nose, the big schnauzer. He was locked in Vault 31 with Buds. And he's basically, they show that he's starving to death, but then he's like, you know what? I got something irrational. and he's going to unfreeze the rest of Bud's buds, which is interesting to see how that's going to affect the people at home. Because we got a little snapshot of what's going on in the vault at home. The one-eyed lady who we also found out is a Bud's bud. Or did we find that out? Or did we find that out? Maybe we didn't. She is. She's one of the bad guys. But all jokes aside, I think every aspect of the show is interesting. I think all the characters are interesting. I think the weakest characters, the weakest arc is the Brotherhood of Steel stuff. I'm not a big fan of sort of everyone else. Maximus grew on me. I like Maximus now. He 100% grew on me. But that friend that he has that cut the boots and the feet, whatever, in the first season, I'm not a huge fan of him. It just feels kind of I don't really know where that arc's going. To me, they resolved it, so I don't know. I want to see more of the Brotherhood as I know them. Maybe a Brotherhood conflict, like a Fallout 3 Brotherhood versus a Fallout 4 Brotherhood, the ideologies. Anyway, point being is that I'm not too crazy about the Maximus side, although Maximus himself as a character, I've grown to love and appreciate at the end of season 1. So we're going to see where it goes. That's pretty much it for episode 1 of season 2. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. I love you guys so much. Leave a like, leave a comment. Let me know what you think of episode 1 of season 2 of Fallout here on Amazon Prime. And of course, let Fallout know that I need to be in the show. I'm an actor. Let him know. Say, hey, Big Chetty wants me in the show. I'll be ghoul number 3. I don't care. I'll be in there. Let him know. Anyways, guys, I love you so much. Make sure to like, comment, share. I'll see you soon. Bye, guys. Thank you so much. Bye.